Hey YouTube, I clipped this just to show off my thoughts on some upcoming content. If you want to check out the full video, please check it out in the card to the right. Otherwise, enjoy this short piece. Drop a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, let's get started. Act 3, Chapter 2, Part 2, Ceodore. He is a holy damage and support hybrid character. He goes Super Saiyan and pumps out more damage. It's pretty cool lore-wise, but he pretty much has 100% uptime on his awakening thing, so don't let it fall off. And he's got conditional stuff when the party's at 100% health. He's got all auras, and his EX gets supercharged when the party is at 100% health. It's the entire party, not just him. And that EX is a nuke. It's a super nuke. It's a triple dump HP attack that hits like a truck and looks incredible. All Ceodore's animations and stuff are on point. They really put a lot of love into his animations, but I don't think they put a lot of love into the actual character. His damage is all right, but again, he's a hybrid. He doesn't enchant, he just imperils his own element. And he heals the party with his LD. His spear is really good as well. It's a party heal on a crit, I believe, so that's situationally good. And his niche is Esna. He cleanses himself with skill 2, and he cleanses the party with his LD, and that's situationally good. And by situationally good, I mean his Lufenia, and then I guess Yuna's Lufenia way down the line, and then Transcendence 4. He's got solid calls. His call is a regular call is an attack and brave up that applies his framed Holy Imperil and a chance to call her with Holy, so it's good for a decent damage spike. And his LD call is Pocket Cleanse, and then it heals the party, and then nukes, which is also nice. Let's see, my pulls and thoughts. I'm skipping him hard. Man, I free pulled his LD and JP and token him, built him, etc. I can never really justify using him. And while I can justify Arciella kinda, I hate saying this, but his damage gets immediately crept by Squall, who isn't tied to an element with annoying upkeep on his aura. Well, Squall doesn't have auras, obviously, and he can't heal the party. But Squall also doesn't have any conditionals on his damage. He's just a nuke. His HP condition is very obnoxious, because the feeling when you get to use his EX and the party's not at 100% HP is so annoying. And you can offset it with his C65, which heals the party, but even then you might miss it. It just doesn't feel good to use, and it just feels kind of awkward. Esna is very limited in use. Like I said, the future Esna orbs are Uniburst event and Transcendence 4. He can definitely be used, and he's still got okay damage, don't get me wrong. He's best paired with his father on the next event, so you have Ceodore. You definitely should grab Paladin Cecil to keep him overhealed. Don't get it twisted though, he definitely outdamages his dad by far, and he's got a super high damage ceiling, but he's also got a really obnoxious setup cost. And I try not to play up absorbs because it's usually overblown, but the Holy Absorb coming up is very real. There's a decent chunk of Holy Absorb as well in the next 2 months. We have Eldnar's Lost Chapter, RNA's event, Trey's Lost Chapter, Omnia Detellion's Lost Chapter, Terra's Chapter Lufenia counters all elements period, Garland's Burst Raid, and Transcendence 2. That's what, 8 fights in the next 2 months, and as a hybrid damage dealer is shut out, which is obnoxious. Blame his dad. Thanks a lot, devs. Not much room for Ceodore to shine, unfortunately, which is another complaint I had about Vincent, which I hate that they do this. Thankfully in JP they've trended away from the resist now, but yeah, it's just something to be aware of if you're going for Ceodore. He's going to be hurting a lot of content. I personally think he's just kind of mediocre. His damage outside of his EX is just okay, and the hybrid utility doesn't really shine that well, I don't think. If you like him, go for him. Make him work, show his strengths, but I'm not a fan personally. Great animations though. He's Zenitsu's voice from Demon Slayer, and I love that show. The Lufenia now, oh boy. The orb is Esna, woo boy, yeah. There are some goofy centipedes, they're immune to HP silence and Arciella energy, so that's great. They're immune to paralyze and their own debuffs, and they absorb thunder and earth. So sorry Guy, sorry Gao, sorry Lightning, sorry Reno, the list goes on. Maybe someone will make Vincent work, shout out to you if you do that, because I don't see it being pretty. Anywho, the recast, it dispels the leftmost buff, which is very annoying, and it drops a permanent HP poison debuff, and the recast ignores HP damage reduction. They do a giant brave gain at HP thresholds, and they also cleanse debuffs, and they target all, and they have a double HP attack, so you want to cut their brave down as fast as possible or else you are going to get blown up. They also have a mode where they resist all weapon types, so you have to hit weakness or else you're just going to do horrible damage. It is possible to DPS race this one down again, but it is somewhat tricky and not easily accessible, especially because lightning is not not favored here. Pocket Pinello is great. for the Esna route if you are going the DPS race. Otherwise, she's also very good in the party for the orb. Ceodore obviously makes the orb a joke, but he's not that popular, and I'm wondering how people will deal with him. Again, this is permanent content. Yuna, I used Yuna here in JP. I used Yuna, Gladio, and Ceodore. I'm sure it's also possible with Yuna, Gladio, and Onion Knight, but I'm not going to subject myself to that again because that was a pain. Balthier's going to eat here because he Esna's himself and the party. Cyan can handle the orb as well. There have been Cyan runs, but again, Penello's great in the party. But Balthier especially, you're going to see a lot of Balthier runs, and if you pulled Balthier, you're gonna pat yourself on the back here because he's going to clap it. Otherwise, the debuff is annoying, but as long as you manage the Esna at a reasonable pace, or you DPS it, race it down at a reasonable pace, this should be manageable. But I think this fight is just obnoxious as well, and the music tends to get hit by copyright. So if you're running this on YouTube, you probably want to mute the game. Anyways, I plan to run Balthier. Actually, who else am I gonna run? Christ, maybe I'm gonna run Ramzug. No, the Dispel's annoying. I actually don't know. Maybe I'm gonna run Balthier, Onion, and maybe Penello to double up on the orb, get some damage in between. But we'll see how I deal with that. Good luck, everyone. Again, don't stress out over it. It is permanent. You can come back later. Alright, hope you enjoyed the clip. Please drop a like on this video and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. Please be sure to check out the full video in the card, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.